Hey guys, Mix here, and in today's video we are back with the NASKART, but today we're going to be making some changes with the remainder of this build. So, in the last video, in the comments, I pinned something that I've kind of thought about, and I kind of thought about it the day after I posted it. So I went ahead and posted that, and on Instagram I also posted as well. But basically what I said was, I haven't been very proud of my work, and I know a lot of you guys have been seeing that I've been slacking off lately, and I really don't want to slack off, but just time was not of availability for the past couple months. But right now it's starting to finally clear up, and we can finally get actual major stuff done to this thing, and not just a couple stuff here and there every video, and not jerry-rig stuff, actually mount stuff. Get the stuff done that we need to do in order to get this thing finished. So I went ahead and made a list, which I have been wanting to do basically since the beginning of this series. I don't know why I really never did it, but it definitely helps to get, everything good to go and out of my mind and on actual writing so I can see it. And in today's video, we're going to be trying to get done as much as we can that's on this list. And also, if there's anything on this list that you guys think I should add that I might have left out, definitely comment that down below. I think I still need to add on the new head studs that we're going to be doing eventually. I forgot to put it on there, so I definitely going to add that later. But like I just said, just fasten your seatbelts and just get ready, because I'm going to be trying to crank out as much as I can for the remainder of the build series episodes on this thing. So I'm definitely really motivated right now. So with that being said, let's get started. So first thing I want to do is at the top of the list, and that is mount up the fuel pump, route the fuel lines, and pretty much get rid of how the fueling system is right now, because it's not very safe. In last video I kind of brought all the wires and all the hoses and out and everything, and because they were all tangled up back there, and I kind of made an idea in my head of what I wanted to do. I want to put everything back here for the fueling. First off, it'll make everything so much more accessible when fueling up. I could pop the trunk once the body's on and just fuel it up right there, instead of needing to take off the whole entire body or try and cram the gas can through the window, trying to fill it up there. And the heat from the exhaust might just set that thing on fire, and we don't want that. So I'm going to take that out, move it back here, and then we're going to make a little bit of a little plate using that, which I can mount the fuel pump onto, the fuel pump regulator, which would be also very accessible when it's back here. For whatever reason, if I need to mess with the fueling, I just come back here and mess with it. And then once I get everything all out of the way of where it is right now and mount it up, we can go ahead and run the cables. And then when I flip the switch, we should have a nice flowing fuel system once again. So let's get started. Finally just finished redoing the whole entire fuel system, and it came out awesome. But today I've been working at this all day, and everything is coming along awesome. Everything is done with it besides the return line, and I'm kind of stuck on what I should do for this, because there's no openings in here. Before, I literally just had this open, and I had the line just laying in there, which was not safe at all. It was literally just taped on top. So I was thinking maybe drill a hole on top of here and kind of make it like a breather, but the only thing is I'm really not sure how to secure that in there, because it's not 100% guarantee that it will stay in there, while moving around in this thing. because if it falls out, fuel is going to be gushing out of that return line, and I'm probably going to have no idea. So I definitely need to think about that for another couple minutes, but I do want to go ahead and just test it, make sure everything's working. So I am just going to lay it in here just to test it out. But I just re-grounded it, actually, because the ground came off because it wasn't long enough when I moved it from there to here. But this is going to be the first time truly having the fuel system go into the engine, since we did the control panel up here. So let's give this a shot. Oh yeah. So fuel is flowing. Alright, definitely looks like that's either this kink right here. It's having some problems getting to the all the way up to the carbs. So it's either just this bends right here that's causing it to not be able to flow good enough. But the return is working great. Everything's flowing around, not leaking out anywhere. But I'm just gonna mess around with that, see if it's just that kink that's causing that problem, or if I need to increase the amount of fuel pressure just to kind of get this incline, to go up easier. So I just went ahead and put no gas in it. That didn't fix it. I also went ahead and put a new line on here, just one a little bit longer, and just to get rid of that little hard degree kink. So now it flows, but it still doesn't flow all the way up. So what I'm going to do is turn up the pressure a little bit, and hopefully that works. So that really didn't do anything, and now that I think about it, I think I put return side to the carb, and I think I put the carb side as the return. So I'm going to try and swap it around, mess with that, and hopefully that works.
Eventually.
So guys, a ton of thinking and spills and frustration later, finally figured out on how to get the fuel into the carbs. So basically, I kind of treated it like electricity and make the fuel choose the path of least resistance. I had to overcome that big incline and make the return line have a lot of resistance. So now, as you guys can see when I turn this on, might be hard to see, but we got fuel flowing in it, and we got the return line flowing out the stuff that's being blocked from the needle and the carbs. So I don't think I'm going to finalize the fuel system right now, just because I want to ask you guys what exactly I should do with this return line. Like, how should I get it to be into the gas tank? Because drilling into this, probably would work, but there's a high chance that it's just going to come right out. So I really don't know how to secure it onto that. So definitely let me know down in the comments, but I just really wanted to get this fuel system back to how it was and mount it in, some good spots other than just sitting over there. Now that we have an actual functioning fuel system now, I can finally run this thing for the first time in so long, and what I want to do next is something that I've been wanting to do since I basically got this thing, is do an oil change. This engine has not had an oil change in probably over 20 years. I should have done when I first got it, but I looked at the dipstick and it looked okay, so I just kind of added in some more oil and sent it. And luckily this thing hasn't seized up yet, but I don't want to risk it anymore because once this thing is running, it's going to be revving out high and everything like that. So definitely want to get some fresh oil in there. So what I'm going to do is run it, get the engine just somewhat hot. I'm not going to run it for a super long time because I don't want fumes and stuff to build up in here like crazy, but just to get some heat in there. It hasn't ran in such a long time, and I want to drain it and see what it looks like. I think I'm just going to bring the NASKART out here because the fumes in there from the gas spill I had are not going away, and I'm not trying to pass out or anything. So I'm going to roll it out here. We're going to work outside for a change, a little throwback, how I used to work. It's a nice night, so we definitely don't have to worry about the weather. But let's take this thing out of the shed. We're definitely going to have to add some weight to the front of this thing. It's crazy how light the front of it is. It's either going to do wheelies or it's not going to be able to steer at all. The back, on the other hand, that's another story. It is heavy. Alrighty, so now that is outside, let's get started on this oil change. I'm going to have to jack up the rear. I cannot fit an oil pan under there. There is no way. But I cannot wait to see what this oil looks like. Alright, so here we go. First oil change. Just got a 17mm drain bolt. Then we'll be able to see what it looks like. Oh, wait a minute. Whew. Whew, I forgot to run it. I'm an idiot. Alright, let's put that drain bolt back in. So close to just taking that out. Alright, so normally I would say don't run any type of engine while it's jacked up and uneven, but this engine's still pretty even, so I'm not really going to worry about it having oil starvation or anything like that while it's on the jack stand. Let's go ahead and start it up, get the oil warm, and then we'll take it out for real this time. So as I just went to start it, it was making a clicking noise, and that sounds like a low battery. So I just went ahead and tested the voltage, and it's only at 9 volts, and when I press the starter, it just drops down, so this battery's obviously dead. I always have issues with this dang battery. So I'm gonna go ahead, throw a charger on this right now. The sun is already setting, so definitely wanna try and get this done quick, so I at least run it out here, you know, so I don't have to run it in there. But I mean, all the gasoline fumes are pretty much out, so if I could just get this to run out here and roll it back in and then do the oil change, that would be okay. Alrighty guys, so it is starting to get pretty dark out here. The battery's still charging, but I really want to get this thing just to run. So I'm going to risk it for the biscuit right now and just try and start it. This could risk killing the whole battery in general. I'm going to have to charge it back up again to wherever it's at. But I want you guys to see this thing run before it gets pitch black out. Dang it, it is dead. So guys, while I'm waiting for the NASKART to charge up out there, I want to go ahead and show you guys a new part, I guess you could say, for this thing that we're going to be doing on it soon, and it's on the list. So obviously we need some good cooling for this engine. It's an air-cooled engine, not water-cooled, so definitely want to have good enough airflow. And when that body's on there, it might get a little bit hot in the back and not have enough airflow. I know I've said what I'm going to do for the past, but I don't know if you guys really know exactly what they look like, or if you knew I had them, or if some of you might not just remember, then I'm telling you right now. So what I'm going to be doing is using NACA ducts. As you can see, have it on the list right there, NACA ducts. And that's what stock cars use to cool, basically, you could cool the driver, the engine inside. It just really get air flowing inside of the car. And right here down below me, I have my NACA ducts. So I definitely don't have to worry about running out or anything, but I could cut it exactly where I want it. Holy cow, on camera it looks like the colors are like tripping out. But I can route this like towards like areas of the car where wind's going to be flowing pretty good and route it right to the air box. Get a ton of airflow just being pushed into there. Obviously I'm going to clean it up a bit, but it's definitely pretty sweet. I mean, it's going to look sick having those ducts all around there. And it's a cool color too. So definitely expect a video coming soon of mounting that up once we get like busy with the whole body and everything like that. And with the whole cooling, as you guys remember from the list, I'm probably going to be doing the 4:2 carb swap, just because these carbs really aren't reliable, and I feel like after a little bit of a while of it running, it starts running on 2 cylinders, because I believe some of the carbs are just not functioning how they should. And as you guys know, we gave it our all trying to revive those, and heck, we got it running, but I really just don't trust them, you know, for really like long-term use. I have some carburetors lined up that I need to be ordering soon, and then once those on, we should be able to really get this thing running way better. I'm gonna have to change the whole throttle, cable position, everything like that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Definitely be checking out Cars and Cameras, their 750 cart, and see how they did their 4:2 swap. But I really just wanted to let you guys know that. I mean, I kind of made this video as kind of an announcement video that I'm not slacking anymore. I really just want to start getting stuff done. No more cutting corners or anything like that. What I'm going to be doing is like knocking out like 4 or 5 things at a time in one video. This video we're just getting like 2 main things done that just had to be done in order to make sure that this engine stays healthy and also I stay safe, you know, especially with that fuel system. Definitely was a good idea that we moved it away from those hot headers. And then once I see how you guys respond in this video in the comments on how I should do the return line, then I could probably just do that off camera, just so we just get it done just like that. You guys won't have to see me go through with the fuel system again. But as it is right now, it's all mounted up, and I'm definitely just so much happier that we have it like that now. I feel safer. It looks way better, and nothing rattles around or anything like that anymore, so no more riggery. But anyway guys, I'm going to let that charge up for just a little bit longer, and then hopefully we can fire it up. I have it on the fast charge, so it should take a little quicker. Alright, so I finally got this thing running, so I'm just going to let it, you know, heat up a little bit, and then I'll cut it off and then we'll roll it inside and finally do this oil change. Alright, so that should be good enough. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, definitely warm enough. So now, let's roll this thing in, because it is like 10 o'clock at night, and there's something crazy going on over there. Drain plug's about to come out for real this time. There it is, let's see. There is the oil. Hopefully you guys can see it. That's an interesting sound. So here's a little bit of a closer look at the oil. I mean, this oil pan was pretty dirty to begin with, but I mean, the oil coming out of it really doesn't look that bad at all. It does seem a little bit thin. There might be some gas or something in it, just from like flooding it or something like that. I'm gonna let every drop drain out, because I definitely don't want any of that contaminants or anything in there. It definitely looks like there's some in the middle right now. But once we're done with that, we're going to be putting 4 quarts of 10W40. So I just put in the drain plug, and now I just want to take a closer look here at the oil. Once again, I mean, it definitely does not look bad at all. It's definitely a little bit like thin, probably just from like sitting for 20 years. Everything that was in it, all the additives, detergents, whatever, is just all gone. But I gotta say, definitely does not look bad at all. But now it's time to give this engine a little treat. I'm probably not going to run this engine for a pretty long time after this, because it's got a pretty major oil leak out of the valve cover. So I definitely got to order one of those probably tonight, because once it builds oil pressure, it just shoots out the front. Not a big issue at all, but don't want to waste any more oil. Alright, perfect. Perfect. And also, I'm not going to bother doing the oil filter on this thing, because once it actually gets running, it's probably going to take some more contaminants out of that engine and put it into the new oil, so I don't want to waste an oil filter on it. Even though the oil filter probably doesn't look too bad based on how the oil is right now. Probably an oil change after this. I could go ahead and change the oil filter and should be all good to go. But anyway guys, I'm going to be ending off the video here. Once again, like I said earlier, this wasn't supposed to be like a full-on knocking stuff off the list video. That's going to be next video, definitely. But I just wanted to let you guys know that my head's back in the game. I'm feeling motivated again. You guys have seen I've been slacking so much. So definitely be on the lookout for videos like that coming soon. But anyway, follow my social medias. They'll be in the outro of this video. Instagram, Snapchat, I use the most. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends about the channel.